everyone, it's George from Blockchain TXP and today is the 17th of July 2023 and last week guys there was this massive news regarding RippleNet XRP and we have got confirmation that Ripple or XRP is definitely not a security, and because of that guys the prices of Ripple or XRP definitely pumped up to the moon and the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies also pumped up to the moon. Unfortunately guys, over the weekend the prices have fallen down, so it's going to be really interesting to see what happens to the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and even XRP over the next coming weeks. So in today's episode guys, we'll definitely touch base on what's next for XRP. And guys listen, there is a massive event that is going to take place next year, and that is the US election, and a lot of the presidential candidates are definitely becoming advocates of Bitcoin, and some of the Republicans are definitely not fans of central bank digital currency. And in today's episode, we will very briefly touch base on the governor of Florida called Ron DeSantis, and he's actually vowing to ban central bank digital currencies. So definitely beautiful stuff. So in today's episode, I'll very briefly touch base on what that news is all about. Now unfortunately guys, I don't think so he stands absolutely any chance against the people's president, that is President Donald Trump. So in today's episode, we'll very briefly touch base on Ron DeSantis' views on central bank digital currencies. And guys, since SEC is aggressively going after centralized exchanges, a lot of the centralized exchanges like Kraken and Coinbase did actually decide to pause their staking withdrawals. Unfortunately guys, we have some more update from Coinbase, and there are a few states where Coinbase has decided to pause its staking, so we'll definitely go ahead and discuss that. And guys, finally we have some update regarding Celsius Network. Now there are two news pertaining to this. The first news is that they have been fined $4.7 billion, but the second and the massive news guys is that the CEO and founder of Celsius Network, Alex Nishensky, is definitely in some really deep trouble. And Simon Dixon guys, one of the OGs of Bitcoin, he has also put up a video explaining what should happen to the future of Alex Nishensky and what he's actually hoping for, that he actually rots in jail. So we'll definitely go ahead and discuss that news in today's episode. And guys, like we do in every Crypto and Coffee Date podcast, we are going to be discussing two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now the first news guys looks like it has to do with central bank digital currencies, but I'll definitely go ahead and give this detail. And to be honest, this is a massive news, and the news is that Central Bank of UAE and Reserve Bank of India or RBI exchanged two memorandum of understandings to strengthen use of national currencies for bilateral trade and link payment and financial messaging systems. So in today's episode, we'll very briefly touch base if it has anything to do with central bank digital currencies and what role could have Bitcoin played between the Central Bank of UAE and Reserve Bank of India. And the second news guys has more to do with enterprise blockchain or permission blockchain. And I very specifically remember guys, in the first few months of doing my podcast, I definitely covered the centralized blockchain protocol called as UAE Trade Connect. So the news is that Al Mushraf joins an enterprise blockchain platform called as UAE Trade Connect. So we'll definitely go ahead and talk about it. And just so that you guys know, EN Enterprise is a T-Salat. So definitely quite a lot to cover guys in today's episode. So let's kickstart with it right away. Welcome to the Crypto and Coffee Date, the daily podcast that keeps you up to date on all latest developments in the world of cryptocurrencies, blockchain, and NFTs. Join us Monday to Friday as you kick off your day with a cup of coffee and a deep dive into the exciting and rapidly evolving world of digital assets. We'll cover the latest news and trends in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space, as well as delve into the growing world of NFTs or non-fungible tokens and metaverse. Plus, we'll keep you updated on the latest developments from Dubai, UAE and the wider Middle East region. Whether you're a seasoned crypto enthusiast or just getting started, Crypto and Coffee Date has something for you. Our expert host will provide insight and analysis on the most important topics in the industry and help you stay up to date on the latest developments. We'll bring you interviews with leading figures in the crypto and blockchain space and explore the ways in which these technologies are changing the world around us. From the impact on traditional financial systems to the potential for revolutionizing industries and transforming societies, we'll cover it all on Crypto and Coffee Date. So tune in and join us for a daily dose of Crypto and Coffee Date, and let's stay ahead of the curve together. We'll start your day off right with the most important news and insights from the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse, and help you navigate this exciting and rapidly evolving landscape. In Crypto and Coffee Date, the daily podcast covers the latest developments in the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse. We'll also bring you updates on the latest news from Dubai, UAE and wider Middle East region. This also includes a range of topics such as developments in the local and blockchain industry, including new projects and initiatives, regulatory updates, and policies related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region, local and regional events and conferences focused on crypto and blockchain, interviews with leading figures in Dubai, UAE and Middle East crypto and blockchain community, coverage of any significant news or events related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region. By covering these local and regional developments, in addition to the wider world of cryptocurrency and blockchain, Crypto and Coffee at 8 aims to provide a comprehensive overview of the industry and its impact on the Dubai, UAE and Middle East region. Now before we kickstart today's episode, I have an important message, so check this out. Shalhoub Group, a luxury retailer and distributor which is headquartered in Dubai, are getting into the NFT game. And here's the deal, guys. They are not just getting into the NFT and metaverse space, they are going to be shaping the NFT metaverse and Web 3.0 space, which I believe is excellent not just for Dubai and UAE, but also for the global cryptocurrency community as well. And guys, Shalhoub Group's Web 3.0 sneaker brand called Soulmates revealed their first NFT collection on the 12th of April. Now what is really interesting is that it's called as Soulmates, so it's spelled as S for sugar, O for orange, L for Larry. Now instead of E, they've replaced it with Web3 and it is the number 3, mates.xyz. And guys, listen, Shalhoub Group has over half a century's worth of experience in luxury goods, and them getting into the NFT space is a massive deal. Now if you're a sneakerhead, you definitely need to check out soulmates.xyz. And once again, guys, the number is 3 instead of an E. It has all the information, and in the show notes below, you'll get all the information. And listen, guys, if you want to be an early adopter, you can also pre-mint it at www.premint.xyz/soulmates. So definitely check it out. And they have a Discord community as well. And guys, Nick, who is the head of corporate innovation at Shalhoub Group and also the co-founder of Soulmates, has a WhatsApp group where he constantly provides updates in the area of NFTs, Metaverse and Web 3.0. So guys, check out soulmates.xyz and be part of the Soulmates OG NFT that is definitely going to shape the industry. Next, Startup OI is global one tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now, guys, since we've taken care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market, because what has happened is that ever since the news was out that XRP is no longer a security, the price not only of XRP but the global cryptocurrency market definitely pumped up. Unfortunately, guys, it has gone down to $1.22 trillion, and since the last 24 hours, it is marginally down by 0.27%. Now, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens to the price of XRP this particular week, because this, to be honest, guys, should give us an indication on where the global cryptocurrency market is actually heading towards. And surprisingly, guys, it is not just because of XRP, but this news is more to do with SEC's regulations on cryptocurrency protocols, and this news, guys, will just set the stage for other cryptocurrency or blockchain protocols that are aggressively working with or against SEC, and Coinbase is actually one of them as well. Now, the total cryptocurrency market volume of the last 24 hours is only at $24.21 billion, and since the last 24 hours, it is down to 22.79%. Now, unfortunately, guys, the volume of DeFi hasn't improved at all. Now, I was really hoping that because of the news regarding XRP, the volume in DeFi definitely pumps up. Ideally, it could have been like a breakthrough moment. Unfortunately, guys, the volume has actually gone down and it is only at $2.31 billion, but DeFi is accounting for 9.55% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. And guys, if you look at the total value locked, it is only at $44.96 billion. As a matter of fact, guys, if you looked at decentralized exchange to centralized exchange dominance, that has also gone down compared to last week, and it is only at 10.99%. I really am hoping, guys, to see the number where decentralized exchange to centralized exchange dominance is roughly around the 30 or 40% mark. I'm pretty much sure it will happen in the next 3 to 5 years, maybe in a decade's time. Now, so far as DeFi protocol is concerned, guys, Lido is still dominating so far as total value locked is concerned, and its total value locked is $15.16 billion. Now, let me very briefly run through, guys, the 24-hour volume of DeFi protocols. The Uniswap is number 1 at $592.73 million, and one trend I've observed, guys, over the last few months is on Sundays or early hours in Dubai and Eastern countries that the volume of Uniswap is almost half of what it is on an average given day. Now, as of now, it is $592.73 million, so it's going to be really interesting to see what the volume is probably on Tuesday and Wednesday. PancakeSwap is number 2nd, and its volume is $210.66 million. Core Finance is number 3rd at $92.54 million, and finally, guys, Balancer at $85.5 million, and finally, guys, Maverick Protocol at $67.07 million, and finally, guys, the volume of stablecoins, not only is it ridiculously low, it is still accounting for 87.29% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume, and the volume of all stablecoins is $21.13 billion, and out of that, Tether USDT accounts for $16.41 billion, followed by Circle USDC at $1.96 billion, and finally, guys, Binance BUSD at $1.61 billion. Now, mind you, guys, you need to pay a lot of attention to what is going on regarding Binance BUSD, because a few months ago, guys, Binance BUSD was in the top 6 among all different types of cryptocurrency exchanges. Then after SEC aggressively going after them, it went down to number 10, and it remained at number 10 or number 11 for quite a long time. But unfortunately, guys, today, that is 17th of July, Binance BUSD is currently ranked number 20 via CoinMarketCap. Absolutely scary stuff. And if you look at its market cap, it is down to $3.96 billion. And just a gentle reminder, guys, the market cap of Binance BUSD used to hover somewhere between the $16 billion mark, and then because of SEC aggressively going after them, the market cap has gradually gone down. And later on, guys, we're also going to be discussing some news regarding Coinbase, and ever since SEC decided to go after Coinbase decided to stop staking services in some states, and there is an unfortunate update that they're further stopping staking services in few more other states as well, so we'll definitely look at that. Now, before that, guys, let's look at the market cap, 24-hour trading volume and dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum, because Bitcoin's market cap, guys, is still below the $600 billion mark, and as of now, it is $588 billion. Ethereum is at $231 billion. The 24-hour trading volume of Bitcoin or Ethereum is not looking good either. Bitcoin is at $8 billion, whereas Ethereum is almost half of that at $4 billion. The dominance of Bitcoin has gone down, and it is at 48.40%. And this, to be honest, guys, is only because of XRP not being termed as a security. And as of now, XRP is currently number 4th. And when we're looking at the price of the top 3 protocols, rather than looking at Binance, today we'll be looking at XRP. Now, so far as the dominance of Ethereum is concerned, it is at 19.10%. Now in today's episode, guys, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be breaking down decentralized apps, but I'm only going to be looking at Ethereum as a protocol, and then I'm further going to break it down to marketplaces and DeFi protocols. So only decentralized apps that are currently working on Ethereum, and then we'll only be looking at marketplaces such as OpenSea, Blur, and then we'll be looking at DeFi protocols. And what I'm going to be looking at is the fiat value of incoming token transfers from unique active wallets, also called as UAW, to decentralized app smart contracts over a period of time. Now mind you guys, I'm looking at this data via dapradar.com, so it's definitely worthwhile checking it. And to be honest guys, the numbers look absolutely scary. Now so far as the matrix that I'm looking at today, I really am not sure what period of time they are calculating this data, because there is an asterisk mark next to it and it only says that they are calculating it over a period of time, but looks like they're looking at 24 hours. Because to be honest guys, if they're looking at these numbers for the last 7 days, the numbers are absolutely scary. So what I'm going to be doing next is looking at Ethereum marketplaces, and the number one protocol is no surprise, it is at OpenSea, and the volume so far as dollar amount is $1.96 million. The second one is Blur, and the volume is $10.04 million. And finally guys, Uniswap NFT aggregator at $4.2 million. So the top three protocols that are marketplaces in Ethereum is OpenSea, Blur, and Uniswap NFT aggregator. And so far as DeFi protocol is concerned guys, MetaMask Swap is number 1, 1inch Network is number 2nd, and Stargate is number 3rd. But look at the difference guys. So far as MetaMask Swap is concerned, it is at $1.87 million, but 1inch Network, its volume in terms of dollar amount, is $47.66 million. And mind you guys, I'm looking at the fiat value of incoming token transfers from unique active wallets to decentralized app smart contracts over a period of time. And once again, I really am not sure when they mention period of time. Are they looking at 24 hours, or are they looking at the entire history, or are they looking at 7 days? And finally guys, the number 3rd protocol is Stargate at $8.64 million. Now guys, before we look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin, let's quickly take a deep dive into what XRP is, because it made massive news and headlines, not just in the blockchain or cryptocurrency world to be honest, but also in the finance world. And I was watching mainstream media, they were covering this news as well. Now let me very briefly run through what the news regarding XRP is, because it is a protocol guys. It was launched in 2021, and the XRP ledger, also called as XRPL, is an open source, permissionless and decentralized technology. And the benefits of using XRP ledger guys is its low cost to do transaction, its speed which takes roughly around 3 to 5 seconds, and also scalability. And they do promise a scalability of 1,500 transactions per second. But listen guys, whenever these protocols offer high transaction throughput, you always need to understand the blockchain trilemma problem. And so far as XRP is concerned guys, there are no blocks that are connected to the chain, so they are definitely a cryptocurrency project, but there are no blocks that are chained to the next block. And guys, XRP also advertises its inherently green attributes, that is carbon neutral and energy efficient. Now XRP ledger also features the first decentralized exchange, or called as DEX, and custom tokenization capability into the protocol. And guys, since 2012, the XRP ledger has been operating reliably, having closed 17 million ledgers. Now let me very briefly run through who the founders of XRP ledger is. In 2012 guys, David Schwartz, Jed McCaleb, and Arthur Brito launched the XRP ledger with its native currency called XRP as a faster, more energy efficient alternative to Bitcoin blockchain. And in September of that year, along with Chris Larsen, they founded the company that is known today as Ripple. Now listen guys, if you do want to find out more information on how Ripple actually works, what I'd really recommend you to do is go to the website, that is xrpl.org. Now mind you guys, XRP is definitely not blockchain. It is definitely a centralized protocol. You can also term it as a software. And Unchained Podcast, one of the favorite podcasters of all time, she is definitely not a fan of XRP. And I know a lot of Bitcoin maximalists, a lot of blockchain enthusiasts who definitely are not a fan of XRP. But that being said, what makes XRP unique is the fact that the ledger presents a wide variety of application and use cases related to payments, including micropayments, DeFi, and soon NFTs. And mind you guys, they were deployed in 2012, and the XRPL supports enterprises in Python, Java, and JavaScript developers with powerful utility and flexibility. On the XRP website guys, developers can access different tutorials to help them get started using different coding languages, building apps, managing accounts, and more. And alongside its native token XRP, the XRP ledger is used by developers to create solutions that solve inefficiencies, including remittances and asset tokenization. Currently, the 5 main applications of XRP Ledger are payments, tokenization, DeFi, central bank digital currencies, and stable coins. Now listen guys, whether you're an advocate of Ripple XRP or not, what I definitely recommend you to do is go to the website so you truly understand what the protocol is. Now granted, a lot of the Bitcoin maximalists or even Bitcoin enthusiasts do not like XRP, but it does solve banking the unbanking problem. And one thing which I often think is, in the country of El Salvador, rather than making Bitcoin a legal tender, could they have used XRP? Because to be honest guys, that could have actually solved quite a lot of problems, but those are just my thoughts. Now guys, let's look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. Now unfortunately guys, the prices did pump up, but it has gone down and it is currently at $30,258, and since the last 24 hours, it is down by 0.28%, but since the last 7 days though, it is marginally up by 0.01%. Ethereum is currently at $1,928. Since the last 24 hours, that is down as well by 0.30%, but since the last 7 days, it is up by 3.17%. Ripple or XRP, guys, is currently number 4th. So in today's episode, I wouldn't be looking at Binance BNB chain, but I'm going to be reading out the price of XRP, and it is currently at 74 cents. And since the last 24 hours, it is up by 2.66%. And since the last 7 days, guys, it is up by 58.22%. And guys, what happened is few days ago, Ripple did actually mention via Twitter that XRP is not a security. And this news has definitely pumped the price of XRP. And guys, the CEO Brad Garlinghouse did actually mention via Twitter that a federal court's decision means that its crypto token, that is XRP, is not a security. Definitely a massive win. And what he also said that the digital payments company has more freedom now to pursue various business opportunities. Now if you do want to find out more information, definitely go look up the article via Bloomberg. Now to be honest guys, I'm a bit skeptical on this news because as I mentioned guys, there are no blocks that are connected to the next block, and also if you look at the mining mechanism, it is extremely centralized. Now at this point of time guys, XRP has become the 4th largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization, and because of this news, the prices surged as much as 98% in the hours following the decision, and at one point of time guys, it did reach a high of 93 cents, but it's gradually down to 77 cents. And I very specifically remember guys, during the 2017 era, it definitely crossed the $2 mark, so it's going to be really interesting to see how the news develops. Now let me very briefly run through what is the drama going on between RippleNet and Security and Exchange Commission, because since late 2020, Ripple Labs, the creator of XRP token, has been locked in a legal battle of the United States Security and Exchange Commission, and the big question was whether or not XRP is a security. And guys, in December 2020, the SEC filed a lawsuit against Ripple Labs and 2 of its executives on the grounds that they were traded at $1.3 billion in their XRP token as security without registering it with the commission. And this goes back to the whole Howey test, and there have been arguments for and against the lawsuits. However guys, Ripple has strongly countered the claims, arguing the SEC has been biased in its assessment, and the SEC guys uses the Howey test based on the Supreme Court's ruling of SEC versus Howey going back to 1946, and this is what we use to determine whether cryptocurrency is a security or not. Essentially guys, an asset is considered a security if it is sold with the expectation of getting profits from efforts of other parties, and based on the Commission's definition of XRP in its lawsuit, the cryptocurrency would pass the Howey test, and according to SEC regulations, all securities must be registered. And to be honest guys, most companies that are targeted by SEC are choosing to go ahead with the battle rather than surrendering to it, and Ripple has decided to fight back as well. And guys, to be honest, the outcome of this lawsuit will definitely have far-reaching implications, not just for XRP, but for other projects as well. And to be honest guys, now SEC has lost some of its credibility, giving crypto-based companies more confidence to go and revolt as well. And to be honest guys, Coinbase is also facing the same thing, and it's going to be really interesting to see how long does it take for the drama between Coinbase and SEC, and we'll very briefly touch base on some negative news regarding Coinbase. But before that guys, let's discuss the US election which is going to take place next year. And US presidential candidate Ron DeSantis was speaking at the Family Leadership Summit on the 14th of July, and he had a massive interview with Tucker Carlson. And during that interview guys, he promised to ban central bank digital currencies in the United States if he's elected as a president. Now what I definitely recommend you to do is go and listen to the entire interview. It is available on YouTube. Now what I really liked is that in that interview he said, if I'm the president, on day 1 we will nix central bank digital currency, done, dead. not happening in this country. And this is what he said during an event in Iowa, which featured 6 other Republican Party candidates as well. And unfortunately, guys, if you're into US politics, I would definitely recommend you to listen to what Mike Pence said regarding his concerns for United States. Definitely horrible stuff. Now mind you guys, Ron DeSantis is a vocal opponent of digital dollar in the United States, and in May of this year he signed a bill in Florida that prohibits the use of federal central bank digital currency as money. He also banned using foreign central bank digital currencies, claiming it would lead to a massive transfer of power from consumers to a central authority. And this, to be honest guys, is absolutely brilliant. Now if you're a massive advocate of central bank digital currency, what I'd really recommend you to do is attend the free session that I tend to conduct every month on central bank digital currency, and I go ahead and give an explanation and key difference between Bitcoin and central bank digital currency. And guys, I've said this thing several times on my Crypto and Coffee Date podcast. Right-wing politicians, right-wing ideologies are definitely in favor of Bitcoin, are definitely in favor of open source, are definitely in favor of freedom of speech as well. And these ideologies, guys, are definitely not in favor of central bank digital currency, because what it does is it gives the state or the government full control over your spendings. So definitely brilliant stuff. But the big question, guys, is he in a position to compete with one of the greatest presidents of all time, that is President Donald J. Trump? I definitely don't think so. Despite them being from the same party, there is some chaos going on between them. But what would be really cool is, let's say President Donald Trump is re-elected in 2024, and maybe Ron DeSantis is the vice president. Now guys, let's discuss some news regarding Coinbase. And unfortunately guys, they have decided to pause staking in California, New Jersey, South Carolina and Wisconsin, as these states say they would require changes to those services while its proceedings against such staking services move forward. And guys, the US Security and Exchange Commission filed a lawsuit last month against the cryptocurrency exchange, alleging that its retail staking services constitute securities. But fortunately guys, because of the news regarding XRP, which is deemed a security, I'm pretty much sure Coinbase's lawyers do have some kind of confidence. Now guys, the big question is, does this mean other centralized cryptocurrency exchanges will follow a similar move? Now to be honest guys, what SEC is saying regarding staking services, unfortunately I do have to agree with Gary Gensler and SEC. And the big question is guys, how does this news impact DeFi and total value locked in DeFi protocols? And this is one of the reasons guys, I do feel that this week it is so critical to look at the DeFi volume and DeFi matrix. And guys, to be honest, I was hoping that because of XRP being termed as a security, this would actually drive the volume in DeFi. Unfortunately, it has not been impacted at all, so definitely not ideal. Now guys, let's discuss some massive news, and this is regarding Celsius Network. And the news is that Celsius founder Alexander Mashensky and the former chief revenue officer is charged in connection with multi-billion-dollar fraud and market manipulation scheme. Now mind you guys, if you do want to read through the official news is by a United States Attorney's Office, South District of New York. So what I'd really recommend you to do is read through the official news, or what you can also do is just copy paste that news, put it in ChatGPT and ask it to summarize it in a really easy way. Because mind you guys, it's really important to note that Celsius Network does actually accept responsibility and pledges to continue cooperating. Now it is extremely possible that Alexander Mashensky is definitely going to jail. Now let me very briefly run through some basic level information regarding what this drama is all about. Because Alexander Mashensky is the founder and former CEO of Celsius Network, and Ronnie Cohen-Bevan, the former revenue officer, are facing serious charges related to fraud and market manipulation in the cryptocurrency industry. And Celsius Network, guys, was a platform that allowed customers to deposit their cryptocurrency and earn returns on their assets through weekly reward payments. It also offered services like crypto asset custody and loans secured by customers' crypto holdings. And Celsius, guys, claimed to be a safe and profitable platform, attracting many retail investors who are regular individuals rather than large institutions. Now mind you guys, I've never been a fan of Celsius Network or Alexander Mashensky, and if you listen to my podcast going back to 2020, there were a lot of people who advocates of Celsius Network. I very specifically noticed one thing which he mentioned in the interview, and what he actually said, that a lot of multimillionaires and billionaires are taking a lot of money. Why don't you go ahead and invest your money into Celsius Network? And mind you guys, at that point of time, his own net worth was roughly around $240 million. And I did actually make comments on YouTube stating that you yourself are a millionaire, and why are you calling out other millionaires? And in my YouTube comments, a lot of that commented stating that I don't understand blockchain technology and how cryptocurrency works. Unfortunately, guys, Definitely not ideal. Now going back to the news, according to the indictment unsealed by the US Attorney's Office, Mashinsky repeatedly made false claims about the safety of Celsius's activities, its profitability, and long-term sustainability of its high reward rates. He also downplayed the risk associated with depositing funds with Celsius. As a result of this misleading statement, guys, Celsius customers base grew significantly and its peak, and Celsius was managing $25 billion in customer assets. But here's where it gets interesting, guys. Mashinsky and Cohen-Pavan allegedly engaged in a scheme to manipulate the market value of Celsius property crypto token called as CEL or CEL, and they did this by artificially inflating the price of CEL token through extensive purchases of the token in open market, using hundreds of millions of dollars, even using customers' deposits without informing them. This, guys, is an absolutely massive big no, and this deceptive tactic created a false impression of high demand and interest in CEL token, making its price appear much higher than it should have been. And as a consequence of this manipulated price, guys, Alex Mashinsky and Cohen-Pavan and other Celsius executives were able to sell their own holdings of CEL token at artificially inflated prices, earning substantial profits. And Alex Mashinsky, guys, alone reportedly made around $42 million, and his co-founder made at least $3.6 million from their sales. So definitely not ideal. Now here's where it gets interesting, guys. Despite portraying Celsius as financially strong, Alex Mashinsky allegedly removed approximately $8 million worth of his own non-CEL crypto asset from the platform just before the pause in customer withdrawals and announced in June 2022. Definitely terrible stuff, guys. And this move raised suspicion about the platform's liquidity and eventually led to Celsius filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So it looks like they're definitely in their own interest, and the investigation into these fraudulent activities involved the FBI, the US Security and Exchange Commission, and the CFTC, that is Commodity Future Trading Commission, and the SEC and CFTC have also filed civil action against Alex Mashinsky. And as a result of this, guys, Alex Mashinsky was arrested, and Cohen-Pavan, who's an Israeli citizen and resident, is currently abroad as well, and the legal process will determine whether they are found guilty or innocent. However, guys, it's important to note that these charges are merely accusations, and both defendants are presumed innocent until proven guilty in the court. And guys, listen, what I really recommend you to do is Simon Dixon, one of the OGs of Bitcoin, he has also put up a YouTube video explaining the drama between what is going on between Alex Mashinsky and Celsius. Now, very specifically, remember, guys, when the news broke up that Celsius was going belly up, Simon Dixon did actually approach them to have certain backup plans, and if I'm not mistaken, they did ask to see some financial reports, but Alex Mashinsky definitely refused, and at that point of time, Simon Dixon was also confused, and he used to post these things via LinkedIn. But right now what he's done is he's posted a video, and unfortunately, guys, based on the video, it looks like Alex Mashinsky did actually use his family members as well in order to gain trust. So definitely powerful video, and definitely check it out. Unfortunately, guys, news such as this is definitely not good for the cryptocurrency and the broader blockchain and cryptocurrency ecosystem. So definitely not ideal. Now, guys, let's discuss two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. And the first news, guys, is between Central Bank of UAE and the Reserve Bank of India. And the news is that the Central Bank of UAE and the Reserve Bank of India exchanged two memorandum of understandings to strengthen use of national currencies for bilateral trade and link payments and financial messaging system. So let me just give you a brief overview of what the news is all about, because the Memorandum of Understanding aims to promote the use of UAE dirham and Indian rupee in cross-border transactions and streamline payment services. And the first Memorandum of Understanding defines a framework for setting trade or transactions in the two national currencies, facilitating direct exchange rates and liquidity management. And the Central Bank of UAE and the RBI will collaborate to promote the use of national currencies and periodically assess the framework's effectiveness. And the framework aims to develop the foreign exchange market, encourage direct investment, and support financial transfers, and the efforts will contribute to financial markets development, economic growth, and stability. And the second Memorandum of Understanding, aims to integrate IPPS, that is instant payment platforms, and local payment card schemes in UAE and the UAE, and it explores linking the Central Bank of UAE's UAE Switch and RBI's Unified Payments interface to enable cross-border instant payments. And the Memorandum of Understanding also explores linking financial messaging systems between the two countries. And the agreement reflects the ambition of Central Bank of UAE and the Reserve Bank of India to leverage technology and innovation for efficient cross-border payments, and they aim to strengthen cooperation across the financial sector an announced trade and investment between the two countries. And this partnership, guys, aligns with rapid advances in technology and digital payments as well. So definitely good stuff. But the big question is, guys, where does Bitcoin fit into all of this? Because the collaboration enables consumers to access payments in both countries, supporting bilateral relations and economic partnership. Now, if you look at Bitcoin, guys, Bitcoin is a decentralized or distributed digital currency operating on a public blockchain without central bank control. And unlike the Memorandum of Understanding, guys, Bitcoin is not tied to any specific nation's currency and operates on a global scale. And the Memorandum of Understanding focuses on facilitating cross-border payments between UAE and India. But so far as Bitcoin is concerned, guys, it is completely borderless and can be used absolutely anywhere in the world. And Bitcoin transactions do not involve direct integration between central bank or regulatory frameworks. If you were to compare it with, let's say, the current Memorandum of Understandings, the agreement between UAE Central Bank and Reserve Bank of India, emphasizing leveraging digital advances. But so far as Bitcoin is concerned, guys, it relies on cryptographic technology for secure transactions, and the transactions are completely peer-to-peer, and there is no double spending possible as well. And this, to be honest, is the power of using Bitcoin. Could it be possible that you can use Bitcoin blockchain and using Satoshis, they can go ahead and do these transactions? Definitely possible. Now, guys, let's discuss the second news, and this news, guys, has to do with UAE Trade Connect. And I very specifically remember, guys, when I started my podcast, within the first month or two, I definitely covered two news regarding UAE Trade Connect. And even at that point of time, I was definitely not a fan of UAE Trade Connect, because to be honest, guys, they do not follow the ethos of open blockchain. And this, guys, goes back to the very basics of why Bitcoin was created. Bitcoin was created so that transactions happen peer-to-peer, and Bitcoin actually solved the double spend problem. Unfortunately, guys, so far as UAE Trade Connect is concerned, the double spending problem will definitely occur. So why use the blockchain in the first place? Nonetheless, the news is that Al-Mashraf joins EN Enterprise blockchain platform, that is UAE Trade Connect. So let me very briefly run through what that news is all about, because they are joining an enterprise blockchain platform in the UAE focused on combating trade financial fraud. And UAE Trade Connect, guys, is a cloud-native solutions co-created with EN Enterprise, utilizing blockchain and artificial intelligence technologies, and the platform detects suspicious transactions, prevents frauds and duplication, and validates and inspects trade-related documents in real time. But guys, listen, if there is a centralized entity, there is a very high possibility to go ahead and do double spending. But nonetheless, so far as this news is concerned, the signing ceremony between Al-Masraf and UAE Trade Connect took place on 12th of July at Al-Masraf's head office in Abu Dhabi, and Al-Masraf's CEO, that is Graham Fitzgerald, expressed excitement about the collaboration, highlighted their commitment to digitization and innovation. Unfortunately, guys, I'm definitely not a fan of this news, but the partnership does aim to create or promises to create a more secure and efficient ecosystem, protecting customers in the banking community. And UAE Trade Connect's CEO, Zulkarnain Javed, welcomed Al-Masraf, making them the 12th member bank in the consortium. And as you look at it, guys, there is a consortium and there is a CEO as well. Unfortunately, there is no CEO, no consortium for Bitcoin blockchain. But going back to the news, Al-Masraf will benefit from identifying fraudulent trade finance transactions and sharing knowledge with other member banks, and the UAE Trade Connect platform processes close to $10 billion worth of trade invoices monthly, preventing interbank fraud attempts in real time. And Al-Masraf's focus, guys, on digitization and innovation aligns with UAE Trade Connect's mission to explore and develop new cases for the benefit of the banking community. But it's so critical to understand, guys, that this is an enterprise blockchain. An enterprise blockchain is utilized in UAE Trade Connect, providing enhanced security and scalability compared to open blockchain. But there is a centralized entity, and one of the problems addressed by enterprise blockchain is double spending, which involves spending the same digital asset more than once. Now, so far as the news regarding Al-Masraf is concerned, the membership in UAE Trade Connect will improve its systems for mitigating fraud and increase funding opportunities for small medium establishments. And UAE Trade Connect, guys, remains dedicated to exploring new cases that serve and benefit the entire banking community. And the collaborative effort of the banking industry in creating UAE Trade Connect showcases the importance of joint initiatives in combating financial fraud. And guys, so far as the enterprise blockchain platform is concerned, the platform uses advanced technologies to create the development of a stronger financial landscape in the UAE. And by leveraging blockchain and artificial intelligence, guys, UAE Trade Connect promises to help build a more efficient and secure trade financial ecosystem. But guys, listen, it's really important to clarify that the enterprise blockchain refers to a private or permission blockchain and not an open blockchain. And if you look at public blockchain, you have Bitcoin or Ethereum and enterprise blockchain, guys, that decide for specific organizations or consortium and are more control in terms of access and participation. So what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, go to YouTube. Andreas Antonopoulos has a brilliant video called as The Basics of Open Blockchain. So he actually lays down the principles of open blockchain, that is open source, publicly verifiable, permissionless, neutral, borderless, and censorship resistant. But so far as UAE Trade Connect is concerned, guys, a lot of them do not follow the ethos of open blockchain. But nonetheless, those are my thoughts and opinions on that. So that's about all, guys, from Crypto and Coffee at 8 and Blockchain DXB. In case you guys have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Check out my website, that is www.blockchaindxb.com. And also check out my other website, area2071.com, that talks everything about Metaverse. And guys, if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. For the next few minutes, guys, it's going to be an Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's kick start with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's Josh from Blockchain DXB. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. I have a question by Sarah who asks, do you think the market cap of Binance BUSD will go below the $2 billion mark? I really am hoping that does not happen, Sarah, because if that thing happens, that just means that there is something really fishy going on. What I'd really recommend you to do is look at the decentralized apps that are currently being built on Binance BNB chain, because what happens is for these dApps, in order to make transactions, you have to convert your existing tokens or even Binance BNB chain to Binance BUSD. And unfortunately, Binance BUSD's market cap going down from $16 billion to less than $4 billion, while its prices remain consistent, does raise some really red concerns. And I really am not sure if there is a central entity under the Binance ecosystem that is actually going ahead and doing that. And as a matter of fact, last Thursday I did actually mention about Binance BNB chain, and they are having a hard fork, and looks like this is a centralized entity which has gone ahead and made a decision to go ahead and do that hard fork. Now really I'm hoping, Sarah, that Binance BUSD's market cap does not keep falling down further, because what it will actually unveil that there is some notorious activity going on, something similar to what Celsius Network is. And one thing which surprises me is that the price of Binance BNB chain is relatively consistent, and if you look at the number of decentralized apps that are actually operating, if you compare it, let's say, with the incoming value of transactions in terms of dollar amount and the number of people using it, unfortunately, Sarah, the numbers do not match up. But if the prices keep going down, it just means that there's something even stronger and much more shadier things going on. And unfortunately, in the cryptocurrency world, I wouldn't be surprised if there is some notorious activity that we do actually identify in the world of Binance BNB. And a few weeks ago, I did actually talk about if Binance at one point of time was actually bigger than Bitcoin, because if you look at it, there are so many protocols directly or indirectly connected with Binance, but definitely a brilliant question. But to answer your question, Sarah, I don't think so that Binance BUSD's market cap will actually go down further, because if it does, then I really am not sure the future of Binance BUSD is, and more importantly, how does that impact Binance BNB chain? So what I'm going to be doing is in tomorrow's episode, that is the 18th of July, we'll break down some decentralized app protocols that are currently working on Binance BNB chain. So that'll give us an idea if the volume does actually make sense. But so far as the price is concerned, to be honest, I don't think so the price makes absolutely any sense, because as I mentioned a few weeks ago as well, that Binance BNB chain's price or Binance BNB's price is relatively consistent, and that does actually raise some red flags. So that's my answer to that question, Sarah. Definitely a brilliant question though. And that's about all, guys, from Crypto and Coffee at 8 from Blockchain DXB. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Check out my website, that is www.blockchaindxb.com. And also check out my website, area2071.com, that talks everything about Metaverse. And guys, if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And remember, guys, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, pure blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And how the series of episodes under Crypto and Coffee at 8 works is we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies,
some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE and Middle East in the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi and Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening guys and have a nice one. Bye bye.